the gospel, you got a snapshot of two very close friends of Jesus. I think Jesus liked to hang out at their home because they were very close. But as we go through a description of them, see which one you're like. They were very different two people. And I would think that most people, you probably are more like one than the other. So figure out which one you are in the gospel today. Which one do you mirror? Jesus liked both of them, and they were different. But we got an insight into that friendship that Jesus created with his friends. The two sisters could not be more different personalities. Martha, the practical, no-nonsense housekeeper. Mary, the romantic, the free spirit, who is captivated by the charismatic Jesus and who he was. He was special for her. And the stories tell us that's what drew her close to him. For Martha, there are tasks to be completed, beds to be made, meals to be cooked and served. For Mary, nothing else matters because Jesus is in their midst. It's easy to understand the tension between the two of these very different women. But often, Martha and Mary can be the same person at different times. There is something of both Martha and Mary within each one of you, each one of us. It's something that we need to ponder. That Jesus really loved everybody. He didn't make too many preferences, even though they were very different. So you can feel comfortable with him. You can feel that you're his best friend. And you will come often to be around him. But you can be one or the other at different times. There is something both of Martha and Mary within each one of us. And the tension between the two is just as real. Our Martha side is consumed with the necessary responsibilities of our careers, our homes, mortgages, college tuition, things to do list that is never completed. The calendar is always full. The deadlines always loom. But our Mary side seeks something more meaningful and more satisfying personally in our lives. The Mary within us longs to spend more time with our children, our family, our friends. Longs to be able to give more of ourselves to causes that we believe in. Longs to turn off the world and be at peace with God, ourselves, and other people. There simply aren't enough hours in the day to possess the better part. That's an interesting comment I want you to think about. That the two of them were competing with one another for his attention. And Jesus says, Mary chose the better part. Well, as we go through our prayer together, figure out what that better part is. What would be the better part for you? What would you see in him that you preferred? And you would imitate her. Simply, there just aren't enough hours in the day to possess the better part. The better part is neither what is left over when everything else is done, nor the few minutes left over at the end of another busy day. We have to consciously choose and seek out the better part. But like Martha, we can become so focused on and distracted by business and busyness, our endless responsibilities as spouses, parents, professionals, as neighbors, as friends, that we become anesthetized to feeling and experiencing actually that better part, which I think Jesus kind of not only invites you, but he kind of hints he'd like to see a little bit more of you. He'd like for you to come over and sit next to him and then start a conversation to know each other better. He wants to know you better. He seeks that better part. And you're smart if you recognize the invitation to the better part. So Jesus invites each one of us to make a place in our lives for Mary's better part, welcoming the joy, the love of family and of friends, and for people to be with us and share and to love one another, to create not just an ordinary parish, but to create a great parish. That one of the nicest things that can happen, and I've heard it in different parishes that I've been at, it's this time of year that all of a sudden, inside your home parish, there are strangers who are visiting relatives or friends, and all of a sudden, they're there with you. And after Mass, there's a comment. And the comment is kind of simple. They will say, what a great parish. These people really like one another. They really enjoy being here as the community of prayer. They really like being with one another. They participate in everything. They join. They feel a unity. They like being with that people. I think that's the comment you would like to hear about your parish here. That people, when they come and visit in the summertime, they would say, what a great group of people. And then, of course, Father Tom would like to hear, would you like to join? Would you like to be part of our parish? And welcome them. But that's a comment that would come freely and honestly. A very welcoming people, the better part, feeling at home, feeling like you belong, feeling that person all of a sudden wants to get to know you better. Well, you're here for one reason. You want to get better known and to know Jesus better. You want that special relationship. So, go for it. Jesus is here. He's around. You'll see him in other people here. And you'll be attracted to place our lives for and challenge us to go after the better part, welcoming the joy, the love of family, friends, that is presence of God himself. Take notice around you. You're in good company. And one of the people here waiting for you to come over and sit down and say, I've been wanting to talk to you, to get to know you better. Good start breaking bread with him. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.